time to start cleaning up this shop. We've been talking about it for a while, but I don't even really know where to start. It's just kind of a mess. Let's take a look. First off, the layout is not the best. This is where we do most of our work. Over here on the lathe, we're still missing the extension to come off. We need to add that back on. And this is our backdrop for the most part. So I want to change this all around. Get this wall painted. So I think first things first, we're going to take down these wood racks, sort the wood, see what we want to keep, what not. This log rack here, probably do better to move these logs outside. Plus we've got some tools over here that don't really make sense, some bikes, some confusion in the corner, plus some really big confusion over here. This is probably going to be a multi-part thing. I don't know if I can do all this at one time while undergoing treatments, but we could start with stuff like cleaning off this. I actually do like the sander over here that's actually sitting on top of the table saw, because we don't use a table saw that much. But yeah, let's do this in multi-parts. I think we're going to focus on getting this area here in the center cleared first. That way I have a space to actually work and maybe sort the wood as we start to take those racks down. So yeah, let's get started. First stage complete. Benches are cleaned off. And thanks to some new tech, you're able to get that fun time-lapse motion. I'm going to start playing around with some more tech like that to hopefully make things a little bit more interesting. Also, might know we're on a new camera too. Not using the iPhone, but we still have it when we need it. So that was step one. I'm sure we all have way too much clutter, but I brought a ton with me from my last shop. My dad gave me a whole bunch of this stuff. I just need to go through some of these tools, see what I actually need, what I don't need. Tools like the joiner, the table saw. I rarely use those. And I'm also storing still a table saw for a friend and a bandsaw. So I need to get those out of here, clear up more space, because I'd like to have this to be like a working studio / wood shop. And we got the projection screen over here. I'd like to have a comfy place to sit, just to come out here and relax, especially in the winter while I'm doing treatments. I don't really need to be around a whole lot of people, so this is going to be my kind of sanctuary, home away from home, outside, to get me out in the air. At least we got a heater and a fridge. All we need is a bathroom. All right, let's get started on the next project. All right, I think this is going to wrap up part one. We've made some big progress. We got what was the turning stock storage off the wall. So we open that up. Still need to get rid of this. Going to take the majority of these logs, probably the log rack itself, shift it out back and make a new log storage outside. I do currently have like a firewood storage area. Maybe this will work great along that. I just don't want it in here anymore. And where I have the firewood storage is kind of under the shade of a tree, doesn't really get too wet, so it might still work to cure some of these. Although I don't know when, if ever, I'm gonna get to turning anything out of these, and some of them probably aren't in the best condition, especially since we have so many project boards already. Let's take a look at this. So cleaning out the drawer and the storage rack, we have uncovered so many pieces of turning stock here. This are the pieces we cut down from the maple tree that fell 2 years ago. So we can still probably turn a bowl out of this, although this one, didn't really realize it, has a giant knot in it. I don't know if it goes all the way through. Might have to cut this one in half to get rid of that knot, but we'll check that out when we get to that kind of project. Got a whole bunch of sticks here that I don't know if we'll be able to use. Those came from our previous house, and a lilac tree that my wife loved, so we kind of saved some pieces of that when we had to cut it down. Might try to make something else out of that. If you're a long-time viewer, remember one of the first projects we did was a lilac bottle stopper, wine bottle stopper. Came from the same branches. This bowl was a project right before I found out I was sick with cancer. It's for a project for one of my wife's teachers, and when I cut into this guy, it was just really too wet. Forgot to check the moisture, so I had to buy a new one and then let this one set to dry. So we got a bowl halfway started. We got some other planks, or some bowl blanks from some old, I think, oak from some boards I got from my uncle. Some more of the spalted maple, smaller sections that are like that. Whole bunch of stuff I've been getting off of eBay. A couple black walnut blanks, even one that was started. These are, if I remember correctly, mango. So all four of these came from a guy in Hawaii who makes ukuleles out of mango. These are his offcuts. I think they're just big enough. We might be able to make some sort of little cup or shot glass type thing out of those. I think it'd be cool to have 4 out of mango. Got some other black walnut blanks in here, some black walnut burls, some 2x12. So needless to say, we got a lot of blanks and projects. I don't really think we need to acquire much more wood. That being said, I am a woodworker and a wood turner, so I do like collecting wood. A lot of the stuff that was up here was a lot of wood that I got from my uncle, whose father worked at a lumber mill in Pennsylvania, and he had all this wood sitting in his barn. So he was gracious enough to send it over to me, and that's what a lot of this stuff is right here that we took off. So we're going to separate it. I'm going to find a place to store all of this because I want this wall kind of clean. We're going to have dimensional lumber storage on one side, and then a place to store all the turning stuff. I'm thinking I've got these, might be kind of hard to see. Let me get a light on. Got these shelves over here in this corner. Need a little bit of organization, but might be good for all the turning stock to lay up there. It kind of does get some good circulation through here, and we can store it over there out of the way. Won't be in the background of anything. Kind of open this area up over here for more of a studio setting. Kind of got to figure out now going forward, knowing the fact that we're going to get the extension base for this, so then we'll be able to put the, I think it's 24-inch extension back on this Rikon, so that way we can actually get to turning some longer material. If we want to keep the lathe at this orientation, so that way this is our backdrop, or if we rotate it 90 degrees, since this wall is going to be clean, the lumber storage over here will be out of the way. It's going to be smaller. I think any 2x4s and that kind of stuff I'm going to store up in the attic because we don't use it that often. So this could be the backdrop. Get some paneling or some wood up there. Like I said, the wood rack won't be down here. Just make it look kind of nice and neat. Yeah, so I think that's the direction. We're going to continue this in part 2. So this is part 1 of the shop makeover. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I know it's kind of jumpy, not a lot of content, a lot of time lapses, but I'm just doing what I can. This actually took, for as little amount of work that was done, this took me over a week to get accomplished due to some side effects from the chemotherapy treatment, and yeah, it's just something good to focus on and kind of like play around with. So hope y'all enjoyed. If so, leave a like, comment, subscribe. And I'll catch you guys next time. Hopefully try to do, I'm not going to promise how often videos. I'm doing currently weekly cancer treatment updates. So every Saturday I come out here and I record an update of how my previous week has been, and I upload those on Tuesdays. That might change with videos like this. Might bump those to like a Monday or a Sunday type thing. If I can get videos like this out, because Tuesday's usually my better day to put stuff out. But we'll see. It's been fun. I'll talk to you guys next time.